So the whole idea of our direct pay partnership with Soligent is really twofold. A, to, of course, help open installers credit lines and give them more access to their own capital instead of having it sit out there. As well as Loanpal in the past had only worked with many of the largest contractors in the space, and our takeout partners weren't really comfortable working with just everybody in the space at the time. So this direct pay program was a way for us to make them comfortable with working with growing companies out there throughout. So our past requirements, if you've previously applied, and we had about 3,000 people previously apply that couldn't get on, this through Soligent opens up that ability to get on the Loanpal platform. And I think as we go through this, I think you'll learn why we've had so many people apply in the past. So if you have applied, we have loosened those guidelines and can open that up to you because of this program. So our enrollment requirements are 100, have been brought down on this program through the direct pay, down to 100 installations lifetime. We do look for satisfactory business credit, online reputation. We do look at business financials, and we do look at your Better Business Bureau rating. And if you're under 500 installs, we do pull personal credit, but it is a soft pull on the owner just to check financial stability. So those are the basic requirements. A lot of people will ask, oh, 100 installations lifetime, what does that mean? That simply means that is there exceptions? We do make exceptions if there are GMs that have run organizations and you know, are good at running crews and have run successful organizations and started their own company or things like that. You know, been a roofing company for quite a few years. You're working on installations. You were installing for somebody else for a while, and now you know you're doing your own thing. So we're just worried mainly that looking at you know, if people have put holes in roofs and hooked electrical up before. That's all we're looking for. So about Loanpal, a little bit of history. Loanpal was founded in 2003. It was originally in a mortgage company in the mortgage banking side, grew to be a very large mortgage banking. Our CEO started, you know, meeting people and networking. One of those people he met was Elon Musk. He kind of challenged Elon. He thought he could sell solar over the phone. Elon said, no way. He said he'd supply him. They kind of had a side bet. He started Paramount Solar, started selling over the phone, built Paramount Solar to 700 installs a month. And then Tesla ended up going, wow, that's too much market share. I'm going to buy you out or put you out of business because you're starting to take business from our Solar City folks. I'd love to bring your team over and have you replicate what you're doing on that side. So that team went over and ran Solar City up to about 17,000 installs a month. So really, in that core team that's there in our business development department is all the folks that used to run that. So they're very well adept at solar, understand the solar market and everything else. So once they sold off to Tesla, a lot of them sat back and said, what are we going to do next? Where was the pain points in solar? How do we keep clean energy going out there in the industry? And that's when they decided to come up with a financing program, because that was the biggest hurdle they had in the past. We do operate in all 50 states. We've had 150K plus customers and you know, about 28 billion in total loan volume. And this is old because there's actually a new crawl. Going to have marketing put it on there. But as of Q2 of 2019, we were about a little less than 2 years old at the time. We were already the number one, and we're by far the number one residential solar finance company now. And that's because we work with, you know, a number of the top companies throughout the entire country. But our mission really, and our CEO talks about it in every single one, we really believe in the mission of getting clean energy solutions on people's houses. And I think you'll see in our underwriting criteria, which shows the understanding of solar, and it'll show you why people use our program. But we also have a higher purpose at our company. Our executive team unanimously, decided to 100% fund give power from an administrative standpoint. So we fund these solar-powered clean drinking water systems because COVID's bad for sure, but unclean drinking water kills many more every year. Then we also put solar, not just clean drinking water, but we also put solar on schools, so folks can get connected to the world through laptops and other things. We just did one in the desert side of Colombia, where our entire BD team went down and installed solar on a school that had no power for 500 folks. So they had been donated laptops, but they couldn't use the laptops because they couldn't power them up. So we put solar on the school, so those 500 kids would have power and lights at night. So those are the kinds of things that we do. So we do have a higher purpose. And right now, even in all this craziness, tons of our partners have that we work with, our solar installers, have committed about $15 million in funding for that. Whoops, sorry, I'm at my kitchen table, and it's a shiny table, and I think my mouse doesn't like that much. So our loan offerings, we do residential solar systems, do 10, 12, 15, and 20. We have 25 that we're working on right now. We have concentration limits on it, and with capital markets tightening up a little bit, we're not doing much of the 25, but the 20 is still strong. We do battery systems as well. Battery does not count towards any dollar per watt caps on our systems either. We can do up to 3 batteries, 25, 35, up to $50,000. So for each one, we are building out a home improvement program and stuff that's coming soon as well. But this is where the secret sauce really happens. In ours, it's our underwriting criteria. Few things. One, if it's $650 to $699 and you get an approval, you get a full $50,000 approval. If it's 700 plus and you get an approval, you get a full $100,000 approval. We do have a 600 low FICO program, but that's just in testing right now. And who knows what the market's doing, what they're doing, if it's the right time for that. So $650 to $699, $50,000, 700 plus up to $100,000. You get the highest score selected from the 3 credit bureaus, and anybody who's pulled their credit knows that there's a difference between those scores quite often. So we take the highest score of those. Another thing that sales guys love about our program is we allow co-borrowers that don't occupy the home. They don't have to be on title, nor do they have to be related. So, like my youngest son, who lives with a lady who owns her own house, his girlfriend, but he could actually be on that loan, whereas in some finance companies, they don't allow for those types of co-signers or borrowers. Also, if you get a turn down, you can come back with that co-borrower, and we're going to take the high FICO score. So if that co-borrower is the high FICO score, then we're going to use that FICO score. And of course, it's going to be all 3 bureaus and the whole thing. So we also do not look at debt to income ratio over 700. If you've had turn downs on, and the person says, I don't understand, I have a 740 FICO, maybe they didn't give you all their income, maybe they have a bunch of rental income, they had a bunch of houses, so the DTI didn't pull out on there. That doesn't matter for us. We don't look at it. We figure if they're over 700 FICO and they're paying their power bill and all their bills well enough to have over 700, that they're just offsetting their power bill. And we are very liberal in 650 to 699 at a 55% debt to income ratio. So that's industry-wide, it's usually 40 to 45% in those ranges. So we do allow for a BK foreclosure if it's over 4 years, and allow a 30-day late on the mortgage in the last 12 months. We also can have 2 systems per borrower, but they have to be 2 separate homes, and they can't be a rental property. It has to be like a vacation home or a second home. So here's a pictorial view that I think works really well. If you look at this, you can see the person in the 650 range had a 620, 633, and a 650. They got a full approval at the 650 FICO score, and that they are allowed the 55% debt to income ratio. On the other hand, person got a $100,000 approval with no debt to income ratio, and they had a 662 through a 700. These are 2 examples that I pulled out of our loan pipeline, just to illustrate, the power of the program. So, property eligibility: residential, owner occupied, grid tied systems, single family up to 4 unit residences, townhome, manufactured homes on a permanent foundation. We do roof or ground mounts. We don't do condos, mobile homes, investment properties, or shared roofs. And condos, we can do condos if they own their roof, but they'd have to own their roof. But remember that any co-signers you have don't have to be a title, occupy the home, or be related. Our program goes up to 550 watt for solar only, and up to $7 a watt for solar plus eligible add-ons. That's re-roofing, landscaping, tree trimming, main panel upgrades, trenching, rafter upgrades, storage, even some smart thermostats type stuff and those types of things. Anything you need to get done to install the solar system or upgrade the solar system, that's what we do. We are in the process of building out a home improvement loan. That's coming within the next few months. But as for right now, our solar only product is $550 a watt for solar only, $7 for additional. So it's 100% digital contracts via DocuSign. Clients set up ACH. ACH is super important to us as a company and to our investors, and to make things more streamlined for the homeowner. So we really ask that our partners that we bring on really push ACH as the way the customer makes their payments. This does quite a few things for our investment partners and makes the asset class a lot safer. If we want to protect solar, and if people want to stop paying on loans, we want them to stop paying on other things first and protect the solar asset class. And ACH does that really well. So they are fixed interest rates for life. It's an unsecured loan, but we do a UCC filing on the solar system itself. But that can be lifted if they want to refinance, and it also can be transferred, which is unique in our loan in the sense that it's an unsecured loan that can be transferred to the new home buyer. And most home buyers, if they've qualified, if you see our requirements, then they would probably qualify for a transfer too. First payment's made 60 days after the funding of the loan, so they really don't have a payment for around 60 days. And all payments include principal and interest. And our payment amount, we have no prepayment penalties, of course. And our payment probably works a lot like what you've seen out there in the marketplace before. For the first 18 months, the payment is the loan amount minus the ITC, so the 26%. That loan goes for 18 months, and then they have a chance to apply the ITC. They can either apply it to the exact amount and their payment stays the same. If they apply more, of course, their payment goes down. If they apply less, it of course goes up. So that's the basic structure of our loan. Pretty simple structure. But another thing all salespeople love about our process is how simple it is. We custom build each calculator for everybody. You get a laundry list of loan terms you can pick from. And in those loan terms, you pick the ones that you're going to offer your homeowner. So that's the only thing that shows in your calculator. And we have a real easy calculator to make sure it shows the customer, what their payment would be after if they don't pay the 30% and everything else. So it's real clear for the customer. And our process is super simple. I mean, it's basically broken down into 3 simple steps. Borrower enters into a simple applications, name, address, phone number, last 4 of the SOCH. It is a hard pull for now. We're working on a soft pull option that turns into a hard pull, which will be coming along soon. But right now it's a hard pull, even though it's the last 4 of the SOCH. And then we ask for the salesman's information. So the salesperson can put in their information into the application, and that way they're updated throughout the process, so they know where the land's all the way through funding, where it stands. They receive an instant credit decision from underwriting, and then they request e-sign loan documents. E-sign loan documents, and the customer can send them right there in the home. Super simple, real easy to do. So this is another explanation of that, but basically it just happens in minutes. We have a dedicated sales and support line that I think you could see at the top of here, at the top of each of our pages. There's the dedicated support line that you can call for any questions or things that you need. And then we have system generated milestone emails and notifications that go out. So now let's go into a little bit more about the direct pay program now. So anybody who's currently on our platform would be able to see and realize what they're looking at, but this is the back end that you would basically go into. And the way our program's set up is all you do is select the loan from your pipeline dealer portal, choose Soligent in the drop down, enter the purchase order amount, basically hit calculate, and then when the job's complete and you've done all your final wire and everything else that you've had to get from Soligent, you'll simply upload your purchase order into the or invoice into the loan pipeline. At that time, Soligent will approve it, and it'll be set and funded within 24 hours. We do fund 100% at install complete. No waiting for PTO or anything else. And in this case, the split pay program would split pay both you and Soligent for that PO or invoice amount. So to get enrolled in the program, if you're interested, before I hand it off to Alex so he can talk to you about solar engine solutions, we do ask for some of the things I talked about up front. But there are 2 other things that I want to point out that we look for that are important. One, on your HIC or your cash contract, we're really looking for 2 copies of a notice right to cancel to be in there, and a license number up front. So if you do send that stuff over and you want to get enrolled and we send you an app, just make sure that it has those things, because we'll just send it back and ask you to redo it anyway. And we are looking for proposals that have tax credit language, talk to your tax advisor. We don't give tax advice. And that you're lower than a 4% utility inflation escalator. And that there's some place that it spells out the 18 months. And we'll work with you. We have the language. If you don't have this in your current proposal or anything, we have all that language and get it to you. But those are some things that we look for up front as part of our questionnaire. And if you look at the list up there where it says to become an approved partner, please return the following. That's a list of the current things we need in order to get you enrolled in the program. So at this time, Alex, I guess, is it questions and answers?
Yeah, let's open it up to questions and answers. If you have any questions, feel free to hit up that chat box. While I'll give you guys a second to do that, I'll pull up the process of signing up here. So Eric, can I ask you to stop sharing your screen?
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, just to point out it, everybody, that's our numbers if you need any help. Go ahead. Did I stop share?
Yes, you're all good. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and share my screen here with you guys and tell you how simple this process is. So right off the bat, you can go to solarenginesolutions.com or solarengine.net. Now, don't worry about writing that down. We're going to send you all a follow-up email with a link that will directly take you there. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Eric, Leandra, or myself. that same email there, if you just reply to that, will go directly to my inbox, and I can get all of your questions answered. To get started on direct pay with Soligent and Loanpal, the easiest way to do it is, again, go to the website or click the link in the email. Select your state. Let's do California. Click Loanpal. Click the Apply Here button and fill out this form. Now, disclosure, guys, this is just the general interest form. This is the first step. This gives us enough information to pull you over to Loanpal, so that they have enough information to reach back out to you. After you fill this out, once you click submit, it's going to take you to a secondary page that's going to ask you, one, if you're not a dealer with Soligent already, there's going to be a dealer app on there. Of course, feel free to do that. If you're already a dealer, of course, don't need to do that. There's a credit app. We do like to have a credit app on file for those of you guys who want to do direct pay with us. If you don't want terms, feel free to put 0 on the requested amount. And then finally, regardless of credit status or dealer application, we do have a partnership agreement on there as well. It's all signed via DocuSign. We do need that on file to pull you over to Loanpal, so the quicker you get that, the quicker we can pull you over. Besides that, that is how simple it is to get going here. Once we receive all that information, all the documents, everything, we pull you over to Loanpal, and then they reach out with the full application and document requirements.